Good morning, one and all. Today we are going to discuss about the what is the comparison of 4 and 6 feeder patterns. Okay, in the previous class we are discussing about the square shape and hexagonally shaped distribution substation percentage voltage drop. Okay, in that we are using square shape, we are using the 4 feeders, and in the hexagonally shape we are using the 6 feeders. Okay, in that derivation first we are calculating the voltage drop and kVA rating for the single feeder, Okay, now in the present class we are discussing about the comparison of that square shaped feeder and the hexagonally shaped feeders. Okay, that means the comparison of 4 and the 6 feeder patterns. Okay, that means comparing the 4 and the 6 feeder patterns. Okay, and also we derive the substation service area with n number of feeders. Okay, in the previous class we are studying about the 4 number of feeders, that means the square shaped, and 6 number of feeders, that is the hexagonally shaped area. Okay, now we are discussing about the with n number of feeders. Okay, when we are connecting the n number of feeders, okay, what is the percentage voltage drop and what is the area and what is the kVA rating, that all will be derived. Okay, next last topic in the substations, that is the what are the benefits derived through the optimal location of a substations. Okay, what are the benefits are there for the optimal location of the substations. Okay, these are the 3 topics that will be discussed in the present class. Okay, First, we are comparing the 4 and the 6 feeder patterns. Okay, what is the 4 feeder pattern? That is the square shaped, and 6 feeder pattern is the hexagonally shaped. Okay, this is the square shaped feeder distribution systems, and this is the hexagonally shaped distribution systems. Okay, this is the hexagonally shaped distribution systems. Okay, in that what are the comparisons are there, that is the what is the area and what is the total area for the single feeder, and this is the area for the total 4 feeders, and this is the area for the total 6 feeders, and this is the power or kVA rating for that 4 feeders, and this is the kVA rating for that 6 feeders, and what is the voltage drop for total 4 feeders, and what is the voltage drop for the total 6 feeders, and what are the currents are there. Okay, that all will be compared for that 4 and the 6 feeders. Okay, 4 feeders means the square shaped distribution feeders or distribution substations. Okay, in that square shaped distribution substations we are using the 4 feeders. Okay, in the hexagonally shaped distribution substations we are using the 6 feeders. Okay, in the hexagonally shaped distribution systems we are using the 6 feeders. Okay, in the 4 feeders, okay, that already we discussed in the previous class. In the derivation we are calculating the area for that single feeder. Okay, in the square shaped distribution substation, that will be divided into the 4 feeders. Okay, therefore the area for that single feeder is L4 square. Okay, the area for the single feeder is the L4 square. Okay, then in the 6 feeders, the area for that single feeder, okay, that is for the in the hexagonally shaped distribution systems, what is that area formula? That is L6 square by root 3. Okay, that is L6 square by root 3. Okay, that already derived in the previous class. Okay, that is the square shaped distribution feeder and hexagonally distribution feeders. Okay, that 2 derivations will be derived in the previous class. Okay, in that derivation, the area for that single feeder when the square shaped distributor is the A4 is equal to L4 square. Next, A6 equal to L6 square by root 3. A6 is equal to L6 square by root 3. Okay, next, what is the total area for all the 4 feeders? Okay, what is the total area for all the 4 feeders? Okay, that is the TA4. That is TA4 equal to 4L4 square. 4L4 square. Next, TA6. That is the total area for all the 6 feeders. 6L6 square by root 3. Okay, 6L6 square by root 3. Next, what is the KVA rating? Okay, that is S4 is equal to L4 square. That is the area into density, load density. D means the load density, area into load density. What is that area? L4 square. Okay, S4 equal to L4 square into D. Next, S6 is equal to A6 into D. Okay, where A6 is the L6 square by root 3 into D is the load density. D is the load density. Next, VD4. Okay, next VD4. VD4 is equal to the 2 by 3 voltage drop at the feeder. VD4 is equal to the 2 by 3 L4 cube K into D. Okay, 2 by 3 L4 cube K into D. Where K is the constant. Okay, where K is the constant and D is the density, load density, where K is the constant and D is the load density. Okay, next, what is the voltage drop? Voltage drop for the 6 feeders, that is 2 by 3 root 3 L6 cube K into D. Okay, L6 cube K into D. Okay, in that K is the constant value and D is the load density. Next, load current I4 equal to S4 by root 3 into voltage. I6 equal to S6 by root 3 into V. Okay, therefore substitute S4 value. What is that S4 value? L4 square into D. Okay, substitute this S4 value L4 square into D by root 3 into V. Okay, then I6 is equal to S6 value, that is S6 equal to I6 square by root 3 into D. Okay, I6 square by root 3 into D. Okay, root 3 into root 3 is 3. Okay, root 3 into root 3 is 3 into V. 3 into V. Okay, this is the some difference between our comparisons between the 4 and the 6 feeder pattern. Okay, this is the some comparison between the 4 and the 6 feeder pattern. Okay. Understand, ma? Okay, these are all the formulas that will be derived in the last class. That is the square-shaped distribution substations and also the hexagonally shaped distribution substations. Okay, these formulas that will be derived in the previous class derivations. Okay, this is the comparison for the 4 feeder and the 6 distribution feeders. Okay, then next, what is the relationship between that 4 feeders and the 6 feeders? First, the relation between the surface area of 4 and the 6 feeders. Okay, the relation between the surface area of 4 and the 6 feeders. First, we are taking the case 1. First, we are taking the case 1, that is thermally limited feeders. Okay, that is thermally limited feeders. Okay, that is by equating the I4 and I6 currents. Okay, what is the I4 value? That is L4 square by D into, okay, that is L4 square by D into D by root 3 VLL. And what is the I6 value? L6 square D by 3VL. L6 square D by 3VL. Okay, that will be equal. Therefore, I6 by I4 whole square equal to root 3. Okay, DD gets cancelled. VL gets cancelled. Then root 3 3 cancel cheste we obtaining the root 3. Okay, therefore by comparing both the currents or by equating the both the currents, then I6 by I4 whole square equal to root 3. Okay, therefore I6 by I4 equal to 3. Therefore I6 is equal to 3 into I4. Therefore I6 is equal to 3 into I4. And TA6 equal to 1.5 TA4. TA6 equal to 1.5 T4. Therefore, the hexagonally shaped distribution substation service area, the hexagonally shaped distribution system service area is the 1.5 times the 1.5 times the square shaped distribution system service area. Okay, 1.5 times the square shaped distribution system service area. Okay, this is the comparison for the first case, that is the thermally limited feeders. Okay, what we will do in the thermal limited feeders, that is we are equating the I4 and I6 values. Okay, this is the formulas for that I4 and the I6 values. Substitute that I4 and I6, then equating them, then the I6 total area for that hexagonally shaped is equal to the 1.5 times the 4 feeders. 1.5 times the total area for that 4 feeders. Okay, this is the case 1 comparison. Next, coming to the case 2. Okay, understand now? Next, coming to the case 2. In the case 2, equating the voltage drops. Okay, in the case 2, we are equating the voltage drops. Okay, what are the voltage drops are there? Okay, what are the voltage drops are there? That is 2 by 3 L4 cube KD, and second in the hexagonally shaped, the voltage drops are the 2 by 3 root 3 L6 cube KD. Okay, by equating these voltages, then cancel the terms, that is KD. Okay, 2 by 3, then it will be equal to L4 by L6 by L4 whole cube equal to root 3. Okay, therefore the root 3 will be 1 by root 3, then L6 by L4 equal to 1.2. Okay, L6 by L4 equal to 1.2. Okay, therefore total area by TA4 equal to 6L square by root 3, that is 1.25. That is 1.25. Okay, therefore TA4 equal to 1.25 times the, so TA6 equal to 1.25 times the A4. 1.25 times the A6. Okay, this is the comparison between the 4 feeders and the 6 feeders. Okay, this is the very important topic in the case of a substations, that is in second unit. Okay, very important derivation. Okay, in the previous class we are deriving the square shaped distribution feeders and also the hexagonally distribution feeders. Okay, by using that derivations, we are write downing the formulas for that area of that single feeder, total area for the single feeder, and kVA for that feeders, and voltage drops, and also the currents. And also we write down the hexagonally shaped distribution, single area, total area, kVA rating, voltage drops, and the currents. After writing these formulas, we are comparing the 4 feeders and the 6 feeders. We are considering the 2 cases, that is thermally limited feeder, that is I4 is equal to I6. That is the case 1. While observing this case 1, what we are observing, TA6 equal to 1.5 times the TA4. Okay, TA6 equal to 1.5 times the TA4. Next, coming to the case 2, what is the case 2? By equating the voltage drops. Okay, by equating the voltage drops, what we will observe, that is TA6 equal to 1.25 times the TA4. TA6 equal to 1.25 times the TA4. Okay, that will be observed, or that will be comparison between the 4 feeders and the 6 feeders. Okay, next, what is the second topic? N number of feeders. Okay, what is the second topic? That is n number of feeders. Okay, n number of feeders. Substation service area with n number of primary feeders. Okay, we are already deriving with the 4 number of feeders and also the 6 number of feeders. Okay, in the previous class we are deriving the 4 number of feeders and the 6 number of feeders. Okay, what is the procedure for finding the 4 number of feeders area and also the 6 number of feeders area? First of all, we are taking the one number of feeder that will be occupied in the square shape distribution feeders. Okay, then easily we are calculating the total area that will be covered by the square shape distribution substations. Okay, in that same procedure we are deriving the n number of primary feeders. Okay, we are taking the substation distribution area with n number of feeders. Okay, that area is served by the n number of feeders. Okay, same as that of, we are taking a small area, that is a triangle ABC. Okay, same as that of in the previous class, we are taking the a small area, that is the triangle ABC. Okay, that is the triangle ABC. Okay, this is the triangle ABC area. Okay, this is the total service area that will be covered with the n number of feeders. Okay, in that we are taking the one particular feeder area, that is a triangle ABC. Okay, these are the main feeders and this is the main feeder and these are the laterals. Okay, this is the distribution points are the load points. Okay, these are all the distribution points and the load points. Okay. Next, the location of n number of primary feeders gives a gives a circular shape distribution systems. Okay, this is the total n number of primary feeders that will be given by in the circular shape. 4 number of feeder line means that will be given by the square shaped. Okay, 6 number of feeder lines means the hexagonally shaped. Okay, in that we are using the n number of feeder service area, that means we are considering as that is in the circular shape. Okay, that is in the circular shape. Okay, this is the total n number of primary feeders served by the distribution substations. Okay, in the total n number of feeders, we are considering the one single feeder area, that is we are taking as the triangle ABC. Okay, consider a main primary feeder taking a supply. Okay, consider a main primary feeder taking a supply from a feeding point A. Okay, from a feeding point A and distribute the power to various locations. Okay, and distribute the power to the various locations. Okay, therefore Ln is the length of the primary feeder. Okay, we are considering the length of this primary feeder is we are taken as the Ln. Okay, in the square shaped area, the length of that primary feeder is the L4. In the hexagonally shaped area, the length of this distributor main feeder is the L6. But we are taking the n number of feeders, that's why the length of this main feeder or the primary feeder is the Ln. Okay, that's why we are considering as the length of the main feeder or the primary feeder is the Ln. Ln. Okay, therefore triangle ABC. Okay, this is the triangle ABC. Okay, Okay, this is the service area that will be served by the single feeder or the primary feeder. Okay, this is the service area covered by one feeder. Okay, this is the service area covered by one feeder. Okay, therefore area covered by single feeder is given by, therefore the area covered by single feeder is given by, this is the triangle ABC. Okay, at the center point we are considering as the O. Okay, the length of this main feeder is the ln and the total length is the 2ln into TA. The total length is the 2ln into TA. Okay, this is the ln tan theta. Therefore, applying that tan theta value, that is OC by AO. Opposite side by adjacent side. OC by AO. Okay, therefore, OC is equal to AO into tan theta. OC equal to AO into tan theta. Okay, what is the length of that AO? That is ln. Okay, that is ln. Okay, what is the OC? OC is equal to ln into tan theta. Okay, then substitute AN is equal to half into B into H. Okay, this is the base. B means the base and H is the height. Okay, what is the height in that single area, in that particular feeder line covered by the area or the triangle ABC or BC length? Okay, that is 2L4, that is 2ln TA, that is 2ln tan theta. Okay, that is 2ln tan theta. Okay, the length of this is the ln tan theta and this is also ln tan theta. Okay, therefore the total length is, we are considering as the 2ln tan theta. Okay, this is the tan theta. Okay, 2ln tan theta. Okay, this is the height. Okay, what is the base? That is the ln. The base value is the ln. Okay, substitute this in the formula. Therefore, an is equal to 1 by 2 into, what is the height? 2ln tan theta. 2ln tan theta into base is the L4. Into base is the L4. 2 gets cancelled. Therefore, ln into ln is equal to ln square into tan theta. Okay, therefore, an is equal to the ln square L4 ln square into tan theta. Okay, this is the area served by the one feeder when the n number of primary feeders are connected. Okay, when n number of primary feeders are connected, the area for that one feeder an is equal to L4 square into tan theta. Okay, an is equal to L4 square into tan theta. Okay, therefore total area covered by n feeders. Okay, therefore the total area is covered by n feeders, that is TAN. TAN equal to n into L4 square tan theta. Okay, TAN equal to n into ln square by tan theta. Okay, this is the total area served when the n number of primary feeders are connected. This is the area served when the single feeder is connected at a particular n number of primary feeders. Okay, after calculating the area, we will calculate the MVA rating. After calculating the area, we are calculating the MVA rating or the power. Okay, what is the KVA rating or the load served by one feeder? Is the area into density. Load served by one feeder is equal to SN is equal to the area into density. Okay, area into density. What is that areas covered by the single feeder, one feeder? Okay, this will be, we are considering as the one feeder. Okay, that means the AN. Okay, what is the formula for that AN? AN is equal to ln square into tan theta. ln square into tan theta. Okay, substitute this AN value in KVA load, that is ln square tan theta into D. Okay, that is ln square tan theta into D. Okay, this is the total KVA load or the power. This is the power for the single feeder. Okay, suppose we are taking as the total power, total KVA load, that is the n ln square tan theta into d. Okay, n ln square tan theta into d. Okay, we are considering the n number of feeders KVA, then the Sn is equal to total Sn. Okay, this will be taking as total Sn. Total Sn is equal to n ln square into tan theta into d. N ln square into tan theta into d. Okay, this is the total KVA load served by all the feeders, all n number of feeders. Okay, next we calculate the voltage drops VDN. Next, we calculate the voltage drop VDN equal to 2 by 3 ln into K into S4. Where K is the constant. What is, sorry, Sn. What is that Sn? Sn is equal to ln square tan theta into D. Ln square tan theta into D. Okay, therefore, the voltage drop at one feeder. Okay, this is the voltage drop at a particular feeder or the one feeder or the single area, that is triangle ABC. Okay, that is triangle ABC. The voltage drop at the triangle ABC is the 2 by 3 ln cube KD tan theta. Okay, 2 by 3 ln cube KD tan theta. Okay, this is the area. Sorry, this is the voltage drop at a one feeder. Okay, understand now? This is the voltage drop at a one feeder. Next, n number of feeders. Okay, one feeder means the 2 theta. This is the theta and this is the theta. Then we are taking as the 2 theta. Okay, n number of feeder means the n into 2 theta is equal to 360 degrees. Therefore, theta is equal to 360 by 2n. Therefore, theta equal to 260 by 2n. So, 360 degrees by 2n. Okay, therefore, tan theta is equal to, substitute the tan theta value, theta is equal to 360 by 2n. Okay, 360 by 2n. Okay, therefore, when n equal to 1 and n equal to 2, what is the tan value? Tan of 360 by 2 equal to tan 180. Okay, the value for the tan 180 is equal to 0. Okay, and then n is equal to 2, tan 360 by 2 into 2. That is 4. 4 means the 90. Okay, therefore tan 90 is equal to infinity value. Okay, for n equal to 1, VDN is equal to 0. Okay, substitute this tan 180 in the first case, that is 0. Okay, therefore VDN is equal to the 0. Next case, substitute tan 90, that is alpha. Sorry, infinity. Instead of tan 360 by 2n, we are substituting the infinity value. Then VDN is equal to infinity. VDN is equal to infinity. Okay, this is not applicable. Okay, therefore equation 1 is applicable only for the n is less than or equal to 3, where n is the number of feeders. Okay, that means this will be applicable. This formula will be applicable when n is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, above 3 feeders ki maatrame. Leda 3 feeders, third feeder nunchi ఇది applicable అవుతుంది. Okay, n is greater than or equal to 3. Okay, less than 3 లో voltage drop అనేది 0, infinity అనేది మనకి obtained అయింది కాబట్టి only it will be applicable 3 are above number of feeders. Okay, 3 are above number of feeders. First to second feeder లో voltage drops ని ఈ ఫార్ములా ద్వారా మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయలేం. Okay, okay, therefore the equation 1 is applicable only for n is greater than or equal to 3 only. Next, Okay, in the today's class, the last topic is the benefits derived through the optimal location of a substation. Okay, this is the last topic in the substation topic. Okay, in the second unit we are having the two topics. Okay, in the second unit we are having the two topics. First topic is the substation and second topic is the distribution feeders. Okay, first topic is the substation and second topic is the distribution feeders. In that substations, this topic is the last one. Okay, that is the benefits derived through the optimal location of a substation. Okay, the benefits derived through the optimal location of a substations. Okay, first the quality of power will be supplied from the nearest substation. Okay, the quality power will be supplied from the nearest substation to every consumer in a utility systems. First of all, we are supplying the quality of power that will be supplied to the nearest to the substations. Okay, the distance between the distribution substation and utility area is minimum due to the best optimal location of the substation. Okay, what is the best optimal location? The distance between the distribution substations and utility area. Okay, if you are reducing the distance between the distribution substations and the load area, then automatically we are reducing the so many losses that and we also reducing the voltage drops. Okay, that's why the optimal location of that substation, best substation, is the minimize the distance between the distribution systems to the utility of that load. Okay, the distance between the distribution substations and the utility of the load is minimum, then it is the best optimal location of the substation. Then we are obtaining the best optimal location of the substation. Okay, substation ni మనం ఎప్పుడు పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా లొకేషన్ అనేది సెలెక్ట్ చేసాము అనేది ఎలా ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తాము అంటే that will be identified by the optimal location of a substation. Okay, how we will observe that will be in the some graphical diagramical representation. Okay, then the optimal location reduces the feeder cost, electrical power losses and service interruption. Suppose the distance between the distribution substations and the utility area is reduced, then we are obtaining the we are reducing the feeder cost. Therefore, the length of the feeder will be reduced. The distance between the distribution systems and utility area will be reduced. Then the cost of the feeder is also reduced. And also the power losses, that is voltage drops, is also reduced. And also we are reducing the service interruptions. And we are eliminating the service interruptions. Next. How it will be decided? Okay, that optimal location will be decided by the perpendicular bisector rule. Okay, this location will be decided by the perpendicular bisector rule. Okay, it is a simple graphical method of obtaining optimal location of substations. Okay, this is the simple graphical method for obtaining the optimal location of a substations for service the consumers. Okay, this is the bisector rule is the one type of graphical method, one type of the graphical method. Okay, it is also useful to determine the location of a new substation. Okay, it is useful to determining the location of a new substations. Okay, by using this bisector rule, we are determining the location of the new substation to locate as much as close to the utility service area. Okay, what is the distance between that utility service area and substation? Okay, that will be assumed or that will be determined by using the perpendicular bisector rules. Okay, by using these perpendicular bisector rules, we will identify the we will identify the what is the best optimal location of that substation will be decided. Okay, this method justify the concept. Okay, this method justify the concept that severe every consumer from the nearest. Okay, steps involved in this method. First, draw a straight line between the proposed substation and each of its surrounding substation. Okay, first of all, we are drawing the proposed substation. Okay, this is the proposed substations and these are the various load utilities. Okay, A, B, C, D, E are the various load utilities and this is the proposed substations. Okay, next, then perpendicular bisects each of these line lies divided in each in two equal parts. Next, we draw the perpendicular bisector lines. Okay, next we are drawing the perpendicular bisector lines. This is the perpendicular bisector. How we will draw that perpendicular bisector? That will be drawn the exactly half of this line. Okay, half of this line. Okay, this is the one perpendicular bisector and this is the other perpendicular bisector. The distance between the possible substation to the particular load center and the perpendicular bisector is equal. Okay, then we draw the perpendicular bisector for that C. This is the perpendicular bisector for D and this is the perpendicular bisector for D. Okay, the distance between E2 bisector is equal to bisector to proposed system. Okay, that is the perpendicular bisectors for the all the service loads or the utility loads. Okay, draw a straight line between the proposed substation and each of its surrounded substations. First, we are considering the proposed system and we are drawing the straight line from the proposed system to the utility of the load. Okay, this is the straight line for that proposed system to the utility of the load and this is the straight line for that proposed system to the utility of the load and this is the straight line for that utility of the load to proportional systems. After writing that, drawing the straight line, then we are draw the perpendicular bisectors. Okay, how we will draw that perpendicular bisectors? That is the exactly half of this straight line. Okay, that is the exactly half of this straight line. Okay, that is the step 2. Okay, then that line will be divided into two equal parts. Okay, then that line will be divided into two equal parts. Assume A, B, C, D, E are the existing substations. Okay, therefore PS is the proposed substation. Okay, these are the A, B, C, D, E are the existing substations and PS is the proposed systems. Okay, according to the step 1 and the step 2, okay, the area covered by the perpendicular bisectors around the proposed substation gives its the service area. Okay, this is the service area, the area covered by the perpendicular bisectors around the proposed substations. Okay, this is the total area is covered by the around the perpendicular bisectors to the proposed system. Only this area. Okay, around the proposed substation gives its the service area. Okay, the target load for the substation is sum of all the loads in that service area. Okay, the target for that load is the sum of the loads in that service area. Okay, this is the best optimal location of the loads. Okay, this is the best optimal location of the loads. Okay, how we will select the optimal location for that substation means that first we are taking the quality power, how we will be distributed for that consumer to the substations. Okay, the first of all we will minimize the distance between the distribution substation to the utility area. Then the optimal location by using this minimization of that area, we are reducing the feeder cost electric power losses and service interruption. Okay, that will be explained by using the perpendicular bisector concept. That is the simple diagram form. This is the proposed substations and these are the utility areas or the loads. Okay, we are drawing the straight line from the proposed system to that utility areas. Okay, these are the straight lines for the proposed system to the utility areas.